Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another Danny Plays video. Today I'm doing another Inktober video, and I know it's a day late. I actually did draw this yesterday, but it was just too late to post by the time I had everything done. So, yeah. The other video is still coming out today. It'll just be coming out a little later today, probably close to like 8 or something. But anyway, the prompt today was pick, and that meant I got to choose what I was drawing, so I decided to draw a griffin. Now, I actually do have a reason why I chose to draw a griffin. Well, in my last two videos, I have discussed the fact that my biggest struggles are probably drawing feathers and fur. Feathers and fur are something I really struggle with. So, because of that, I wanted to draw a griffin because they have both feathers and fur. They have feathers on the head and wings, although I actually end up not doing feathers on the head for some reason. They have feathers on the head and wings and fur on the rest of their body. So it seemed like a great opportunity to practice those things, and I could have done shading too, but I just didn't end up doing that. And part of the reason this came out so late is I was waiting for a new art book to arrive that actually had tips on how to draw a griffin, and I should have done it earlier because the book was completely useless because there were two poses that I wanted to do it in. Well, actually, I shouldn't say completely useless. It still helped me with the shape, even if I had to translate it. There were two poses I wanted to do. I was thinking about one having it hovering in the air with its wings spread out behind it, and it's looking down at you from, like, above. And that's the pose I wanted to do, but I couldn't find any reference pictures for that anywhere. So I might try that again at some point, just with no reference pictures and just try and do it myself. But this was my first time drawing a griffin, so instead I looked around on my computer and I found this picture, and I thought this was close enough to what I wanted to do. So using a combination of this book, the internet, and another book I actually used another book to get the fur and feather textures because I didn't like the feather texturing in the new book. Anyway, I think this is where I start adding the fur texturing. Yep, here we go. Oh wait, no, this is me fixing the legs because the legs were a bit weird. The front legs that obviously end up being bird legs, so I add the little talons on the back and the two in the front. And then I make it thinner down at the bottom closer to the foot, because if you think about it, well, there's no fur on the actual bird part of the foot, so it's going to be a little less thick. And then I added a little bit of fur on the neck, but the texturing is mediocre there. It gets better, actually. I actually really like the way the fur comes out. Like, see, here's where I'm starting to do the fur on the leg. And I actually think the fur came out pretty good. You can't see it real well until I zoom in on it later in the video. But it does come out decent. The feathers are a bit messy. The feathers were a bit... Yeah, the feathers were not the best, but I'm getting better, so that's the point. Let's see, what else can I talk about here? I didn't really give it a very defined beak. I feel like I should have given it a more defined beak than I did, because honestly it kind of just looks like some sort of animal with bird wings and an interesting tail, because it almost looks like I mixed feathers into the tail. Oh wow, that's so sped up that you can't actually see what it looked like when I zoomed in. Okay, yeah, that's my bad, but there is a picture at the end, so it's fine. Everything is fine. Anyway, I start doing the feathers, and I realized the big thing with feathered wings is that they overlap the feathers, and there was there is a major reason that these feathers came out pretty messy, and that is that, like I said, I used two different books. I used one book to get the shape of the wings, which, I mean, I did have to change because the pose changed, but I used one to try and get the shape, and I used one for the actual feathers. And it turns out the shape of the wing in one book did not translate well with the feathers of the other book. So it did turn out a bit messy, but I actually still really like the way it comes out in the end, and I think that as far as feathers go, this is probably the best I've ever done. Now, this is about the end of the video, so if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to like, and if you're really enjoying my content and maybe watching a decent amount of it, you could subscribe, because only 1.97% of my viewers are actually subscribed, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!